Walmart just became the most important store in your emergency plan, and most shoppers are walking past the exact items that will matter most when prices spike, shelves thin, or the next supply disruption arrives without warning. This is not about hoarding, it is about buying smarter than the system expects you to. 10 bulk foods, specific reasons, specific storage guidance. The shoppers who act on this list first will not be the ones scrambling later. Let us get into it. Number 10. Rolled oats. Start here because nothing in the bulk food category delivers more value per dollar than a large container of rolled oats, and almost nobody is buying them with the strategic intentionality the current food environment demands. A 42-ounce canister of Walmart's Great Value rolled oats provides roughly 30 servings. At current pricing, that works out to pennies per serving of a food that delivers complex carbohydrates, soluble fiber, and meaningful protein in a format that requires nothing more than hot water and 2 minutes of your time. The nutritional density per dollar is almost unmatched anywhere else in the store. The storage case is equally strong. Rolled oats, stored in a sealed container away from moisture and direct light, maintain full quality for 2 to 5 years. Transfer the oats from the cardboard canister into a food-grade airtight container with an oxygen absorber, and that window extends further. A food that costs very little, stores for years, and provides genuine nutritional value is not a backup plan, it is a foundation. The culinary flexibility of rolled oats is underestimated by people who think of them exclusively as breakfast food. Oats thicken soups and stews. Ground oats substitute for a portion of flour in baking. Oat-based granola provides calorie-dense trail food. Savory oat porridge with salt, fat, and whatever protein you have available is a complete meal that costs almost nothing per serving. A household that has 50 pounds of oats in storage has a nutritional foundation that covers dozens of meal formats across months of use. Global oat production has not faced the same dramatic disruptions as some other grain categories, but input costs for oat farming, fuel, fertilizer, and labor have trended upward consistently. The current shelf price reflects a supply environment that is more favorable than many other categories. That relative favorability is worth acting on before the input cost trend closes the gap. Oats are the foundation, but what sits directly beside them in importance is a protein source that most bulk buyers overlook because they are focused on meat. Number 9 is the protein category that will still be affordable when everything else has repriced, and it stores longer than almost anything else on this list. Number 9. Dried lentils and split peas. Lentils do not get the attention they deserve because they are not exciting. They are quiet, dense, and extraordinarily useful, which makes them exactly the kind of bulk food that rewards the households paying attention. A 1-pound bag of dried lentils yields roughly 6 cups cooked, enough for 6 to 8 generous servings of a high-protein, high-fiber meal. At Walmart's current Great Value pricing, a 1-pound bag costs under $2. The per-serving protein cost of dried lentils is lower than almost every other protein source in the entire store, including eggs, canned tuna, and chicken thighs. The supply story behind lentils is more stable than most bulk proteins. The United States is a significant lentil producer, with the Pacific Northwest, particularly Washington and Idaho, supplying a substantial share of domestic commercial lentil production. Canadian production in Saskatchewan provides additional supply redundancy. A food with strong domestic production and distributed growing geography is significantly less vulnerable to the import disruption and tariff exposure affecting other protein categories. Split peas add variety and a different nutritional profile within the same general category. Yellow split peas are milder and creamier when cooked. Green split peas carry a more pronounced earthiness. Both work in soups, dals, pureed side dishes, and as protein extenders in ground meat dishes. Rotating between lentils and split peas across a month of meal planning prevents the menu fatigue that makes people abandon their stored supply before using it. Storage is exceptional. Dried lentils and split peas, stored in sealed airtight containers with oxygen absorbers, maintain nutritional quality and cooking performance for 5 or more years. No refrigeration, no special conditions. A shelf in a cool, dry location is all they require. Buying 10 to 15 pounds of dried lentils and 5 pounds of split peas at Walmart right now, at current pricing, is one of the highest value bulk purchases available anywhere in the store. The protein security that quantity represents costs less than a single restaurant meal for 2. If this channel is delivering the kind of practical intelligence that changes how you shop, hit the subscribe button right now. Thousands of people are building smarter pantries using exactly this kind of breakdown. and the next video covers items disappearing from shelves before the end of summer. Number 8. White rice. Long grain, 25-pound bag. Brown rice is more nutritious. Whole grain advocates will make that case clearly and accurately. But in a bulk storage context, white rice wins on every practical metric that matters, and understanding why changes how you shop this category. The bran layer that makes brown rice nutritionally superior also makes it shelf unstable. The natural oils in that bran layer oxidize over time, causing brown rice to go rancid within 6 to 12 months, even under good storage conditions. White rice, with the bran removed, stores for 25 to 30 years in sealed conditions with oxygen absorbers. The nutritional trade-off of choosing white over brown is real. The practical trade-off of buying brown rice that goes rancid before you use it is worse. Walmart's Great Value Long Grain. White rice in the 25-pound bag is one of the most cost-effective bulk purchases in the entire store. At current pricing, 25 pounds of white rice provides roughly 250 cooked cups, enough to serve a family of 4 a rice-based meal every day for more than 2 months. Cost per serving is measurable in single-digit cents. The cooking flexibility matters as much as the storage profile. Rice serves as a base for proteins, stews, curries, stir-fries, and soups. Rice cooked in broth rather than water carries significantly more flavor and nutritional value with zero additional cost. Rice combined with beans provides a complete amino acid profile, meaning the two together deliver the protein functionality of meat without the cost or the refrigeration requirement. This is not a new discovery. It is the nutritional foundation that sustained large populations across most of human history. 2 25-pound bags of white rice stored in food-grade buckets with gamma seal lids and oxygen absorbers represents a caloric foundation for a family of 4 that costs less than most people spend on coffee in a month. That foundation does not expire for decades and does not require any special skill to prepare. White rice solves the starch and calorie foundation. What solves the fat requirement, the macronutrient most often overlooked in bulk storage planning, is number 7. And it is already showing price volatility that makes the stock-up case urgent. Number 7. Refined coconut oil, or vegetable shortening fat, is the macronutrient most emergency food planners understock, and it is the one that causes the most significant cooking and nutritional problems when it runs short. A diet sufficient in calories from carbohydrates and protein but deficient in fat produces fatigue, impaired cognitive function, difficulty absorbing fat-soluble vitamins, and food that tastes like sustenance rather than a meal. Fat is not optional, it is structural. The fat storage options at Walmart break into 2 practical categories. Refined coconut oil in the large jar format is shelf-stable for 2 to 5 years, has a high smoke point suitable for frying and high-heat cooking, and is solid at room temperature, which makes it less vulnerable to the rancidity that affects liquid oils in storage. The refined version, as opposed to virgin coconut oil, has a neutral flavor that does not impose a coconut taste on savory cooking. Vegetable shortening in the large can format is the traditional long storage fat of American pantry planning. Properly sealed shortening stores for 1 to 2 years at room temperature and longer under cooler conditions. It works in baking, frying, and as a cooking medium for almost any application. It does not require refrigeration. The large can format at Walmart provides a volume of fat that, rationed thoughtfully, covers a household's cooking needs for months. The supply pressure on cooking fats is real and documented. Sunflower oil, a significant component of the global vegetable oil supply, faces ongoing disruption from the conflict affecting Ukrainian production. Canola faces separate pricing pressure from trade relationship tensions with Canada. Palm oil, which underpins much of the processed food and cooking oil industry, faces regulatory and supply chain volatility tied to its geographic production concentration in Indonesia and Malaysia. Buying fat in a shelf-stable format at current Walmart pricing is a direct response to a supply category with documented upward price pressure. The coconut oil 2-pack, or the large shortening, can represent months of cooking fat at today's cost rather than tomorrow's. Fat is structural nutrition. What is structural flavor? The ingredient that makes stored food palatable enough to actually sustain morale through a difficult period is sitting 2 aisles over, and number 6 is the item most bulk preppers get completely wrong. Number 6, salt, sugar, and honey. These 3 items get grouped together not because they are nutritionally equivalent, but because they serve the same critical function. They make food edible in the psychological sense, not just the caloric one. Salt is the most fundamental. Salt is not a seasoning. It is a biological requirement and a food preservation tool that human civilization was built around for thousands of years. The body requires sodium for nerve function, muscle contraction, and fluid balance. Food without salt is not just unpleasant. After days of eating unseasoned food under stress, it becomes a morale crisis that impairs the psychological resilience a household needs to function through a difficult period. A 5-pound bag of iodized salt costs under $2 at Walmart. Buy 4 of them. The storage life is effectively indefinite. Salt does not expire. Sugar serves 3 functions in a stored pantry. It provides quick energy in situations requiring physical exertion. It enables home preservation. Jams, syrups, and canned fruits require sugar to achieve the preservation chemistry that makes them shelf-stable, and it is a barter commodity of recognized value in genuine scarcity scenarios. A 4-pound bag of granulated sugar stores indefinitely when kept dry and sealed. Buying 10 pounds at current Walmart pricing is a negligible cost against its multi-year utility. Honey is the item that elevates this trio. Raw honey is the only natural food product that does not spoil. Archaeologists have found 3,000-year-old honey in Egyptian tombs that was still edible. Honey provides immediate energy, acts as a topical antimicrobial for minor wounds when medical supplies are limited, soothes throats and supports immune function, and makes otherwise monotonous stored food genuinely enjoyable. Walmart's store-brand honey in the large bear format provides volume at a price point significantly below specialty retailers. Buy 2. Store them sealed in a cool location. They will outlast almost everything else in your pantry. Flavor foundations are in place. What carries the protein load through weeks of cooking when fresh meat is unavailable and lentils need a break is sitting in the canned goods aisle. And number 5 is the bulk purchase that most households are chronically understocked on. Number 5. Canned chicken breast, large can format. Canned chicken breast is the most practical protein in the bulk food category, and it is dramatically understocked in most household pantries relative to how useful it actually is. The functional case is straightforward. A 12.5-ounce can of chicken breast contains roughly 3 to 4 servings of complete protein, requires 0 refrigeration, needs no cooking beyond heating, and integrates into more meal formats than almost any other canned protein. Chicken soup, chicken salad with mayo and crackers, chicken added to rice and beans, chicken stirred into pasta with olive oil and garlic, chicken mixed with hot sauce on whatever grain is available. The versatility is exceptional. Walmart's Great Value canned chicken breast provides the best per-ounce protein value in the canned meat category. A case of 12 large cans represents a substantial protein reserve that costs a fraction of equivalent fresh chicken purchased over the same period. The supply case for stocking canned chicken specifically, rather than other canned proteins, comes down to the relative stability of poultry versus beef and pork. The U.S. poultry industry has faced avian influenza pressure, but chicken production recovers faster from disease disruption than beef, because the production cycle is measured in weeks rather than years. A beef herd takes years to rebuild after contraction. A commercial poultry operation can rebuild flock capacity within a single quarter. The relative resilience of chicken supply compared to beef makes it the more dependable canned protein choice for a long-term pantry strategy. Store canned chicken in a cool, dry location away from temperature extremes. Check cans for dents, rust, or compromised seams before purchasing and before consuming from stored supply. Rotate through your stored cans on a first-in, first-out basis, using the oldest cans first and replacing them with new purchases. This keeps your stored supply perpetually fresh without requiring a dedicated purchase event. If this breakdown is helping you build a smarter, more resilient pantry, hit the like button right now. It costs you nothing and it helps this content reach more households who need to see it before prices move further. Hit the like button now. Canned chicken handles protein. What handles the vitamin and mineral gap that opens up when fresh produce disappears from a household's diet is the category most people forget entirely until they are already feeling the deficiency. Number 4 addresses that gap with a shelf-stable solution most Walmart shoppers walk past without a second look. Number 4. Canned and dried fruits and vegetables. Fresh produce is the first casualty of a disrupted household food supply. It perishes fastest, costs the most to transport and store, and provides the vitamins and minerals most critical to sustained health. When fresh produce disappears from the household diet, the deficiencies that follow are not immediately obvious. They accumulate quietly, showing up as fatigue, impaired immunity, slow wound healing, and cognitive fog. weeks before anyone connects the symptom to the missing nutrition. Canned vegetables at Walmart, particularly corn, green beans, mixed vegetables, diced tomatoes, and spinach, provide heat-stable versions of the micronutrients fresh vegetables carry. The canning process does reduce certain heat-sensitive vitamins, vitamin C in particular, but the majority of the mineral content and fat-soluble vitamins survive the canning process intact. A diet that includes a variety of canned vegetables is nutritionally superior to a diet of grains and protein alone, even if it is not equivalent to fresh produce. Dried fruits add a concentrated micronutrient and calorie source that stores exceptionally well. Raisins, dried cranberries, dried apricots, and banana chips available in Walmart's bulk snack section provide iron, potassium, fiber, and natural sugar in a format that stores for 1 to 2 years sealed and requires no preparation. They add variety to an otherwise grain and protein-heavy stored food diet in a way that matters for morale as much as nutrition. The Walmart Great Value canned tomato line deserves specific mention. Diced tomatoes, crushed tomatoes, and tomato paste are not garnishes. They are the flavor and nutritional foundation of an enormous range of meal formats across almost every cuisine. A case of diced tomatoes transforms rice, beans, lentils, and pasta from subsistence food into actual meals. Tomatoes provide lycopene, vitamin C, and potassium in a format that survives years of shelf storage. Buying 2 to 3 cases of canned tomatoes alongside your grain and protein stores is one of the highest leverage purchases on this entire list. The canned vegetable and dried fruit category is also one of the most directly exposed to the tariff adjustments affecting imported food categories. Several canned vegetable and fruit products sold at Walmart include imported components, particularly processed tomato products from Italy and Spain, canned mandarin oranges from China, and dried fruit processed in Southeast Asia. Buying current stock at current pricing is buying ahead of the duty adjustment that will move through to shelf prices in the second half of 2026. Produce fills the micronutrient gap. What fills the energy and satiety gap between meals, keeps children manageable during a stressful period, and provides the calorie density needed for physical exertion is something most households stock casually but never strategically. Number 3 solves that with a simple, overlooked Walmart aisle. Number 3. Peanut butter. Large format jars. Peanut butter is the single highest calorie to dollar to shelf life ratio food available in any Walmart in the country. That is not a casual claim. It is a nutritional and economic reality that makes it the most important purchase on this list for households operating on a constrained budget. A 40-ounce jar of great value creamy peanut butter contains roughly 45 servings of 2 tablespoons each. Each serving delivers around 190 calories, 7 grams of protein, and 16 grams of fat. The caloric density is exceptional. The protein contribution is meaningful. The shelf life of an unopened jar is 1 to 2 years, and the opened jar remains safe and high quality for weeks without refrigeration in moderate temperatures. Peanut butter requires 0 preparation. It is eaten directly from the jar with a spoon, spread on crackers, stirred into oatmeal for a protein boost, mixed into sauces for noodle dishes, or added to smoothies when blender access is available. In a scenario where cooking resources are limited, peanut butter is the food that bridges the gap between a hot meal and genuine caloric need with no infrastructure required. The pediatric case for peanut butter in a stored pantry deserves its own sentence. Children under stress need calorie density, familiar flavors, and foods that feel normal. Peanut butter scores on all 3. A child who is anxious, displaced, or in an unfamiliar situation will eat peanut butter when they refuse other stored foods. That behavioral reliability is not trivial in a household managing a prolonged disruption. The domestic peanut supply is relatively stable compared to imported food categories. The United States is a significant peanut producer, with Georgia, Texas, Alabama, and Florida producing the majority of the domestic crop. A food with strong domestic production geography and limited import dependency is less exposed to the tariff environment affecting other bulk foods. Current Walmart pricing on large format peanut butter reflects a supply environment that is more favorable than the trajectory of most other food categories. That relative favorability will not persist indefinitely as input costs for domestic agriculture continue their upward trend. Buy 4 large jars minimum. Rotate through them. Replace each one as you open it. Your peanut butter supply stays perpetually fresh and perpetually full without any special effort. Peanut butter is caloric insurance. What provides the liquid nutrition, comfort, and multi-use functionality that makes a stored pantry feel like a kitchen rather than a bunker is number 2, and it is a category most people stock reactively rather than strategically. Number 2, shelf-stable milk, evaporated and powdered. Fresh milk has a shelf life measured in days. In any disruption scenario that extends beyond a standard power outage, the household that depends on fresh dairy for nutrition, cooking, and hot beverages discovers very quickly how central milk is to daily food function and how fast it disappears from the available supply. Evaporated milk in the can is the form most people recognize from baking and holiday cooking. What most people do not realize is that evaporated milk, diluted with an equal volume of water, is functionally equivalent to fresh whole milk for drinking, cooking, and adding to coffee and tea. A 12-ounce can of evaporated milk reconstitutes to approximately 24 ounces of usable milk. Walmart's great value. Evaporated milk in the case format provides a volume of dairy equivalent that, properly rationed, covers a household's cooking and beverage needs for weeks. The shelf life is 12 to 24 months from manufacture date. Powdered whole milk extends the storage window further. A quality powdered whole milk stored in a sealed container maintains nutritional value and acceptable flavor for 2 to 5 years. Reconstituted powdered milk is less appealing as a straight beverage for adults accustomed to fresh milk, but it performs identically to fresh milk in cooking applications, oatmeal, sauces, baked goods, soups, and hot beverages. Children adapt to reconstituted powdered milk more readily than adults, particularly when it is used as an ingredient in familiar foods rather than served as a drink. The nutritional case for shelf-stable dairy in a stored pantry goes beyond calcium and vitamin D. Milk provides complete protein, B vitamins including B12, which is difficult to obtain from plant sources, and a fat component that supports fat-soluble vitamin absorption from the vegetables and grains in your stored supply. A pantry that has grains, legumes, and canned protein but no dairy equivalent is nutritionally incomplete in ways that compound over weeks of exclusive reliance on stored food. Buy 2 cases of evaporated milk and a 2-pound bag of powdered whole milk at minimum. Store them in a cool, dry location. Label them with purchase dates and rotate on a first-in, first-out basis. The cost of this dairy reserve at current Walmart pricing is modest against the nutritional and culinary gap its absence creates. Shelf-stable dairy closes the nutrition loop. The final item on this list is the one that determines whether everything else you have bought and stored actually works when you need it, and it is not a food at all. Number 1. Water storage and treatment supplies. Every bulk food on this list is theoretical without this one. Rice that cannot be cooked, oats that cannot be prepared, lentils that sit dry and hard in their container, peanut butter that coats a dry mouth with nowhere to go. Food storage without water storage is not a plan. It is an inventory. The water calculation most households get wrong is the same one repeated throughout emergency preparedness guidance, without enough specificity to actually change behavior. 1 gallon per person per day is the floor, not the target. That gallon covers drinking and minimal sanitation only. Cooking rice requires 2 cups of water per cup of dry rice. Cooking lentils requires 3 cups of water per cup of dry lentils. Oatmeal, instant coffee, hot beverages, basic wound cleaning, minimal hygiene. The water budget for a household of 4 doing genuine cooking from a stored food supply is closer to 3 to 4 gallons per person per day. 2 weeks of genuine water security for a family of 4 is 112 to 112 gallons minimum. Walmart carries the inputs for a serious water storage and treatment system at accessible price points. 7-gallon stackable water containers that fit in closets and under shelving. Unscented bleach at the concentration required for water treatment, 8 drops per gallon of clear water, 30 minutes contact time. Water purification tablets as a portable backup. A gravity-fed filtration system if the budget allows. The water treatment supplies that most people overlook are the ones that extend a finite stored supply into a renewable system. Pool Shock at 68% calcium hypochlorite concentration is the professional-grade water treatment tool. A single 1-pound bag of Pool Shock, available at most Walmart garden and pool sections, treats tens of thousands of gallons of water over its shelf life when properly diluted into a treatment stock solution. That is a generational water treatment capacity in a container the size of a coffee mug. Most people have never heard of it. Every household should have it. The food on this list is the substance of your household's resilience. The water is the infrastructure that makes the substance accessible. Build both simultaneously. A pantry without water supply is a beautiful, expensive display of food that you cannot eat. These 10 items bought at Walmart, at current pricing, in the quantities this list recommends, cost less than most households spend eating out in a single month. Shop smart. Stock first. Build the pantry that does not need the grocery store to cooperate. The next video on the left covers 15 more Walmart items disappearing before the end of summer, and the timelines on some of those are shorter than anything on this list. Click on the left. I will catch you there.